Attention and respect. Attention and respect. Attention and respect. In 1974, African heads of state assembled in Mogadishu, the Somali capital, to see President Siad take his turn as chairman of the Organization of African Unity. In his opening speech to the summit meeting, the president talked at length about Somalia's domestic and foreign policy since the revolution. In referring to her progressive stand on matters of mutual concern such as the post-colonial heritage, he assured his listeners of Somalia's support, both moral and material, for progressive and liberation movements and governments throughout the African continent. In particular, he singled out the southern countries of the continent, Zimbabwe and South Africa, whose peoples still suffered the iniquities of direct colonial rule. Confidently entrust the future government of the Somali nation. It was to be a socialist party of national consent. Such an experience was totally new to Somalia, and yet after so many years of struggle, development and achievement, the SRC, but as leader of the October Revolution, President Siad was awarded a specially cast medal from the Somali people. Hero of Somalia medals were then presented by President Siad to every member of the outgoing SRC, who had fought with and steered the revolution since its beginning in 1969. One by one, the members of the former government received their medals from the president. Finally, in his turn, the president received the same medal for his part also in the revolution. He said how glad he was to sense their genuine enthusiasm for the party. Today, he said, we are entering a new era in which every individual will find complete freedom in fulfilling his responsibilities to those around him and to the nation as a whole. There is a member country of various international groupings, among them the Organization of African Unity, the Arab League, and the Organization of Non-Aligned Countries. Today, it speaks as a voice in the world at large, a voice to whose views on international relations and foreign policy the world pays ever-increasing attention and respect. In 1974, African heads of state assembled in Mogadishu, the Somali capital, to see President Siad take his turn as chairman of the Organization of African Unity.
Sanctions must be preserved and intensified to maintain the illegal regime's present international isolation and sustain a worldview of the unacceptability of the Smith regime. If there were no sanctions, the drift towards recognizing it de jure would follow as surely as day follows night. My delegation would therefore appeal to the Security Council to continue to act in concert on the basis of the objectives established by this organization, to continue to apply the force of moral, political, and economic pressure against the rebel regime, and to remain committed to the proposition that the sure guarantee of justice for the African people of Southern Rhodesia, indeed for all the people of Southern Rhodesia, lies in their being able to control their destiny through the full exercise of their political and human rights. Above all, my delegation believes it is necessary for the Security Council to reassure the international community that despite all that has taken place in the territory of Southern Rhodesia since the Smith-Hume settlement proposals, the continuation of sanctions is one that depends not on the outcome of the arrangements agreed on between the British government and the rebel regime, but on the decision of the Security Council, arrived at after due consideration of the best interest of all the people of Southern Rhodesia.
Somali Batamar Yaro, Intana Dibu, Intarankan, Antara Pusini, Waraho, Itimir Lafakita. Katuhunsan, Somali Batamar Yaro, Intana Dibu, Intarankan, Antara Pusini, Waraho, Itimir Lafakita. Adunyadana taageersan tallownay ku tasoobayaan kebaynay taariikh hor loo tamar gashay noqotay qadnay adunyadana taageersan xaqayaga aan taabnay kaanaadnay.
dalkaygo dushaada waa barwaaqe dalkaygo dabeeshaadu waa udgoonte dalkaygo dushaadu waa barwaaqe dalkaygo dabeeshaadu waa udgoonte dalxiiskaaga maalimaadine dalkaygo meelaan kugu doorsanaya miyay dunida baa ku taala gamaani maadine dalkaygo meelaan kugu doorsanaya miyay dunidaba ku taala dalkaygo
inaan dibadaha wareego inaan dawarsado shisheeyaha dalaawe inaan ahaado qaxooti inaan danmoodo inaan dibadaha wareego inaan dawarsado shisheeyaha dalaawe inaan ahaado qaxooti inaan danmoodo waxay dantu igu xambaartay dalkaygo kolkii duulba duul wareemay dalkaygo kolkii nabad laysu diiday dalkaygo sakeeya kolkuu isdooxay dalkaygo duqowdii la dhaafi waayay dalkaygo kolkay dhihaatee sundaacday ayaa nafta la soo dallaabay